Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Joe Palmer begins now.
Good evening, everyone. A man has died and a woman is clinging to life after a horrifying crash involving a police car in Launceston. The officer was on his way to an urgent call when he collided with another car and was sent spinning into the path of 2 pedestrians.
An unthinkable tragedy frozen in time. As investigators confronted a crash involving one of their own last night, police were still coming to terms with the nightmare.
This is nothing short of a tragic set of circumstances for all concerned, more particularly for the deceased and their family. So yeah, look, this is not a good night.
Police say just before 8:30, an officer parked in the city centre received an urgent call to go to Youngtown. With his emergency lights flashing, he drove through a red light at the intersection of Patterson and St John Street, colliding with a Lancer carrying 4 people. The police car flipped and was sent spinning towards a New South Wales couple crossing the street. The impact killed the man and has left the woman fighting for life in Melbourne's Alfred Hospital.
This will be fully investigated. There'll be no stone left unturned here to get the full circumstances, which includes speaking to all the witnesses, the 4 people in the car and anybody else that has information.
The officer has since been released from hospital. It's not known how fast his vehicle was travelling. The siren was not activated, a practice that is allowed by the state's road rules. Police are now promising a full professional standards investigation into the circumstances surrounding the tragedy. And as we go to air tonight, the intersection will again be closed for 2 hours while investigations continue. One thing clear among the loss of life was the courage shown by bystanders who stepped in to help.
It was a significantly traumatic scene that they're encountering, and it showed the community spirit going into to help their fellow people.
Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
A Tasmanian primary school is vowing to be open, ready for term 1, despite a fire tearing through classrooms last night. The Claremont community has today been left devastated by the blaze, which police believe was deliberately lit, causing $500,000 damage.
Flames take over classrooms. A fire ripping through a Claremont school last night. Crews rushing to Holy Rosary Primary around 8:30, urgently trying to get the blaze under control.
It was a light at the back. There was a small shed attached to the building that was set on fire, and from there it spread.
4 classrooms were impacted, 1 severely. The damage bill rising to $500,000. Police were back on the ground investigating this morning. They now believe the fire was deliberately lit. It's a loss that's devastated this school community.
It's the centre of the Catholic community with the church here in St Bernard's Parish, so it's very important to the community.
Students were away for the summer break, but a holiday program is currently active at the school. Luckily, at this stage, still able to go ahead.
We'll provide counselling if students require that, but also some educative processes around what has occurred.
The school is insured, with plans being developed to ensure students can return safely when term 1 begins in a few weeks' time.
Look at how we can accommodate with the facilities we've got, but look at some temporary accommodation in the long term.
Police now urging anyone with information to come forward.
We've had reports previously of people at the school, so if anyone's got any information in relation to that, we'd like to hear from them.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Fires burning in the Fingal Valley have been downgraded to advice level. The 2 blazes burning to the north and south of Fingal have destroyed more than 16,000 hectares of bushland.
Of course it has an impact in terms of farming and agriculture. There's 17 kilometres of fencing that's been destroyed in and around the Fingal area. There's been no stock losses to date based on the advice that I've received.
Meanwhile, the Tasmanian Health Service is reminding residents to stay indoors when possible and take care on the roads due to the smoky conditions. The government is opening up Tasmania to recreational hunters, freeing up more reserves to shoot wild fallow deer. It's the latest move in a string of measures to tackle the state's huge deer population.
They're one of Tasmania's biggest pest problems. While deer cause major headaches for landholders and farmers, the state government is working to control the population while keeping game hunting alive.
4 new areas that will be opened for reserves for recreational hunting in Tasmania. That's on top of the 6 that we already have, so it's a very significant increase on the east coast in central Tasmania and the Central Highlands.
The Australian Deer Association welcomes the move.
It's reasonably significant with the increasing number of game hunters in Tasmania and Australia. It gives a great opportunity for younger hunters to get out there and experience the outdoor life.
To enjoy this important Tasmanian way of life. It's been the Tasmanian way of life for many, many decades, in fact, well over a century.
The plan's facing criticism. The Bob Brown Foundation saying the government is trying to redesign public nature reserves as outdoor shooting parlours. The government is continuing to carry out aerial surveying and camera trapping as part of a statewide census to better understand how many deer there are. It's predicted there could be up to 1 million in Tasmania by 2050. Late last year, the government announced landholders with permits can cull antlerless deer for up to 5 years, while quotas have been scrapped for recreational hunters. The ballot for all reserves is open until the end of January, with the hunting season extended from March to November this year. Letitia Wallace, 7 Tasmania News.
Police say a pile-up involving 3 trucks and a car on the Midland Highway could have been a lot worse. Emergency services were called to the section between Epping Forest and Symonds Plains around 1 o'clock this afternoon.
The car has overtaken the 3 trucks and then had to stop for another vehicle in front of it, which has stopped quicker than the trucks are able to, and as a result 1 truck struck the car and 2 other trucks struck those trucks in front of it.
Fortunately, no one was injured in the crash and the highway remained open. Police urged drivers to take care while overtaking on highways with higher volumes of traffic over the holiday period. Punters, jockeys and spectators are saddling up for another season of Tasmanian horse racing. The summer carnival was officially launched today, with Tas Racing saying it's confident in its local events despite national concerns surrounding the sport.
Her name may be Shady Hustle, but this 4-year-old mare is promising the real deal, racing as the #1 contender in this year's statewide summer carnival launched today.
We thought if we won a maiden with her, we'd get our money back, but it's, our wildest dreams to have her at the moment. Whatever she does now is just a bonus for us. You know, she's exceeded what we thought.
It's an exciting calendar event. It's a major boost to our local economy, the Summer Racing Carnival, and indeed all of the events that occur throughout the year.
Trotting alongside the redeveloped Elwick Racecourse track, the gates set to open on the $12.5 million upgrade this month, in a bid to boost Tas Racing's recent dip.
We certainly needed to rebuild this track. It was struggling, it had poor drainage, it was uneven, and the racing it wasn't a great look on television, so people stopped punting on it. What we have now is a platform to really grow the industry.
It comes as the industry nationwide still licks its wounds after damning allegations of animal welfare issues.
We support fully Tas Racing's welfare initiatives and all of those across the country. I mean, it's a national issue and we're a strong supporter of that, and we believe the industry has a good record, particularly here in Tasmania.
The Devonport Cup kicks off tomorrow, with Hobart and Launceston hosting their annual events next month. Ruby Kamain, 7 Tasmania News.
Some of the country's most elaborate and creative performers are preparing to hit stages across Hobart in the 2nd annual Fringe at the Edge of the World Festival. Opening Thursday night, the Uncensored 2020 program promises nearly 60 jaw-dropping shows.
We have cabaret, burlesque, drag, we have circus, we have magic, comedy, sketch comedy, theatre, stand-up, you name it, we have it. So there's literally something for everyone.
The curtain closes on the 4-day event on Sunday.
The Tasmanian Tigers have broken through for their first win of the Women's National Cricket League season. After a 3-month break, the Tigers bowled out the SA Scorpions for 172 in Adelaide before easily reaching the target in 38 overs with 5 wickets in hand. Nicola Carey was player of the match, scoring 64 runs and taking 2 wickets. The Tigers play the Scorpions again on Thursday. Australia's rowing refugees have taken asylum in Tasmania after bushfire smoke forced them out of training centres in Sydney and Canberra. Although it's a big disruption leading into Tokyo 2020, local rowers are relishing a rare chance to be back home. Australia's top flight rowers are breathing a sigh of relief as they take in Tasmania's clean air, free from the pollution suffocating national training centres interstate.
The air quality conditions had deteriorated so significantly in both Canberra and Penrith that it was undermining our preparations for the Olympics this year.
For the next fortnight, Australia's top 25 female rowers will call the North Esk Rowing Club home, while the leading men are at Lake Barrington. Just 200 days out from Tokyo, the choice was clear: shift south or train indoors.
The National Training Centre is kind of at the border of where the bushfires are in the Blue Mountains, and being here down in Tasmania is great for us. You know, we definitely can be more consistent with the water.
It's come at a pivotal time. Next month's national trials will lock in squads for World Cups in Europe and naturally influence who goes on to the Olympics. For local rowers like Sarah Hoare and Siona Wilson, the change of plans is an unexpected bonus.
I'm from the Tamer Rowing Club and I've been rowing on the river for 14 years now. So it's pretty exciting to bring people from all over the country to where my hometown is and show them how special it is.
Wilson is usually home for only 3 weeks of the year. After an injury-plagued 2019, the surprise homecoming is a good start to what could be the 27-year-old's biggest year in the sport.
A lot of the girls yesterday were commenting how when we got 10 k's down the river to our turnaround point, you can hear the cows on the side of the riverbank, and they haven't really experienced that kind of stuff before, so it's pretty special for them.
Good evening. Close to or just below average the temperatures today. Launceston the highest with 26, Hobart 19, Burnie 23 and Devonport 22. The best rainfall overnight was 5 millimetres on Flinders Island. Today, a 2 millimetre reading was reported by Ross. Ouse and Friendly Beaches 24 degrees, Smithton 23, King Island 22, Lowhead, St Helens and Lyowini 21, Flinders Island 20 and Strawn 19. A combination of high and middle level cloud moved over the state. Visibility inhibited too over the north and east by smoke haze. A deep low sits south of WA, producing patchy cloud, more smoke haze over New South Wales and Victoria, and the enhanced convective activity near Broome in the northwest due to Tropical Cyclone Blake, and more cloud with a monsoon trough over the rest of the tropics. Tomorrow a high sits over Tasmania with another over the Tasman Sea. A cold front passes to the south of WA, moving over the Bight. Blake is expected to track southwest away from the coast later. Winds mostly light and variable before tending southeasterly over most waters tomorrow afternoon. Swells at 3 metres in western and southern waters. Hobart partly cloudy and 23 as well for Geeveston, warming up to 26 at Bothwell and mostly sunny. Launceston, a possible shower developing, 28 the maximum, before that 24 for Devonport, a late shower for Cressy and 29 degrees. Burnie, smoke haze and 24, 22 for Strawn, bit of smoke haze over King Island, Curry 21 degrees, and a top of 22 for St Helens, Swansea and Orford, a bit smoky over the east coast tomorrow. UV very high to extreme over the state. On Thursday, fine apart from a possible early shower over the north, mostly sunny and warm over the west and south. Showers extending statewide on Friday as temperatures warm up over the east and southeast, but a drop in temperatures on Saturday. Hobart 19 after 30. A bit windy as well. Sunny in Perth and Adelaide, 24 in Melbourne, a smoky 32 in Canberra, Sydney 26 degrees and a partly cloudy 31 in Brisbane. And here are the current conditions, mostly cloudy around the state. I need to tell you, Joe, that the Salvation Army will be collecting donations for the bushfire appeal at the Devonport Cup tomorrow. And those colours, the green and white you've got on, will be on number 5 tomorrow in the big race. So it might be an omen.
Oh, it could very well be. Thank you very much for that, Murph. That's all from the team for now. Have a lovely evening. Good night.
1, 2.